When you think about what chorizo is, really, it's just ground pork mixed with that classic Mexican red chili marinade called an adobo. And if you know how to make the adobo, well, you could create your own chorizo at your house in a flash. Now, I'm going to show you the easiest way I know to make an adobo. Usually they start with dried chilies. This is an ancho. Some people use this one or the dried guajillo chili or a combination of different chilies. Everybody's got their own recipe. But what I'm going to show you is really more accessible. I'm going to make it with a dried ancho powder, which is accessible to everyone. You can buy it online, specialty grocery stores. And I'm going to measure a half cup of this powder into my blender jar. In that goes. And I need a cup and a quarter of boiling water. Pour that in and blend until mixed. While that chili is rehydrating, I like the mellower flavor of blanched garlic, so I'm going to peel 8 cloves of garlic. Collect all of the garlic in a small dish. Cover it with water, put it in the microwave, and cook it at full power for 1 minute. Drain off the water. I'm going to add that to the blender jar, and I'm going to measure in 3 tablespoons of vinegar. You could use distilled white vinegar for a clean, clear taste, or apple cider vinegar for one that's a little bit more developed. 1/8 of a teaspoon of cumin goes in there. I think that's a powerful flavor, so not too much. A 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. A 1/2 teaspoon of ground Mexican cinnamon, the one that's called canela. And a teaspoon of Mexican oregano. To that, we're going to add a 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Remember, this is a marinade, so it's going to carry a lot of weight of spice. Turn on the blender and blend everything until you get it as smooth as possible. This marinade needs to cool down now, and I always keep a jar of it in my refrigerator. That's what I would do. Scrape this into a jar, refrigerate it. It's the perfect marinade for steaks, chicken, fish, especially before they go onto the grill. Sometimes I'll stir this into a soup, maybe into a salad dressing, use it when I'm sauteing some potatoes or some greens. It's a great all-purpose red chili marinade. When this cools down, I'll show you how to turn that into chorizo. I have my ground pork here. The pork goes in there. 1.25 cups of this adobo is what I'm going to need for 1.5 pounds of ground pork. This stuff is really beautiful. A little paprika, 1/4 cup, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now that gets mixed until all of the meat has been thoroughly colored by that beautiful adobo. That is fresh chorizo.